Great learners, let's look at prime numbers and prime factors today. Prime numbers and prime factors today. In our previous class, we considered factors and multiples, but today we want to look at prime numbers and prime factors. Now, what is a prime number? What is a prime number? A prime number is a number that has 1 and itself as the only possible divisors. A prime number is a number that has number 1, and itself as the only possible divisors. Yes, they are called prime numbers. Numbers that have 1 and itself as the only possible divisors are referred to as prime numbers. But take note of this: 1 and 0 are not considered prime numbers. They are not considered as prime numbers. 1 and 0 are not considered as prime numbers. So prime numbers starts from 2 upward. Prime numbers start from 2 upward. Prime numbers start from 2 upward. So from 2 upward, those numbers you know that only 1 and themselves could divide themselves, they are referred to as prime numbers. Any number that has 1 and itself as the only possible divisors are referred to as the prime numbers. So let's see, 2. The only number that can divide 2 are 1 and 2. Let's see, 3. The only number that can divide 3 are 1 and 3. Let's see, 4. The number that can divide 4 are 1, 2, and 4. So this is not a prime number. 4 is not a prime number. Let's see, 5. Number that can divide 5 are 1 and 5. So 5 is a prime number. 5 is a prime number. Let's see, 6. Number that can divide 6 are 1, 2, 3, and 6 is solved. So 6 is not a prime number. 6 is not a prime number. Let's see, 7. Number that can divide 7 are 1 and 7. So 7 is a prime number. Let's see, 8. 1, 2, 4, and 8. So 8 is not a prime number. So any number that has 1 and itself as the only possible divisors, that number is considered a prime number. Now, we have had the knowledge of what a factor is. A factor is a number that divides another number known as the multiple, leaving a remainder of 0. Please take note of this. Take note of this. A multiple is also called a dividend, like 10 over 5. 10 is a multiple, which is also known as dividend, while 5 is a factor, which is also known as divisor. Take note of that. So, all numbers at the top of a fraction are referred to as dividend numbers, but not all numbers are referred to as multiple. Why? Because there are some numbers you divide and the remainder will not be 0. The remainder will be 1 or 2 or 3. Those numbers are dividend, but they are not multiples. Numbers are called multiples if the factors of those numbers are leaving a remainder of 0. So take note of that. So right now, we understand what are prime numbers. Prime numbers, I said, they have 1 and themselves as the only possible divisors. Any number that has 1 and itself as the only possible divisor, that number is referred to as a prime number. Now, if that number called the prime number is used to divide another number, for example, 2 is a prime number, but I'm using 2 to divide 20, for example. You see, 2 is a prime number, but now 2 is not a prime number here, but a factor. 2 is a factor, because if it divides 20, the answer will be 10, remainder 0. So 2 is considered a factor. But at the other time, 2 was considered as a prime number. But now 2 has been considered as a factor. So in this case, 2 is known as prime factor. 2 is known as a prime factor. Look at 3. 3 is a prime number. 3 is a prime number, but I'm using 3 to divide 12. My answer is 4, remainder 0. So 3, which is a factor right now, is called a prime factor. Why is it called a prime factor? Because it was a prime number from the initial state. But now we are using 3, which was a prime number at the initial state, as a factor to divide 12. So at this time, it is called a prime factor. So a prime factor is a prime number that is a factor to another number known as multiple. A prime factor is a prime number that is used as a factor to another number called the multiple. Do you get this? A prime factor is a prime number that is a factor to another number known as the multiple. So that you should understand. So you should be able to differentiate between a prime number and a prime factor. A prime number is a number that has 1 and itself as the only possible divisors. A prime factor is that prime number that is used or that has become a factor to another number.